Hello everybody, this is MTG Network here. I am MTG right here with GRT, and this is the very first installment of the 326 Wrestling Podcast. We're here to discuss various wrestling things and video game things. Today we're going to be discussing wrestling topics, most importantly, all elite wrestling. Alright GRT, would you like to introduce yourself, tell a bit about yourself, and what are you here for?
I'm GRT, is what I would be known as, and basically I'm here to help with the podcast, and also to kind of break down on what things that may be confusing to the viewers, and yeah.
And see, I'm going to be reading off of this little cheat sheet I got here that has wrestling news, rumors, and updates of what I have been searching for across the internet, and he's going to give me his more or less poetic output on what this is, and pretty much you're going to get an understanding. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. This is going to go on, I believe, Facebook, YouTube, and we're going to try and get it on a podcasting network. And, alright, I hope the best and wish us luck. Alright, first thing we're going to discuss, early this morning, as of May 15, 2019, of All Elite Wrestling getting a TV deal coming this fall on, we don't know what exact day or what it's going to be called, but I was looking right here on the internet. We got AEW has trademarked the following term of Tuesday Night Dynamite. Now, if that would be the case, Tuesday Night Dynamite would be going head-to-head with Tuesday Night SmackDown Live. Your output on this?
Honestly, I think that that would be a good date for it, like a good day of the week. But I mean, depending on what time they broadcast it.
Yes, because like when TNA did their quote-unquote Monday Night War, they put on Impact an hour before Raw, which traditionally Raw comes on at 8. They put Impact on at 7, and with that hour thing, they try to draw on their audience. But as soon as 8 o'clock hit, everybody turned the channel to Raw. Let's hope they don't make the same mistake with this one. And the question is, will it be live or not? Now, online, on CBS Sports has reported this, that it will be live weekly matches. So will that be like a live weekly show, or will it be live in-ring matches that have been taped? And the Tuesday Night Dynamite, that's a really, really interesting thing, because with SmackDown going to Friday nights and on the Fox network going in fall, that would mean they would leave an opening night for Tuesday night, so there would be no traditional competition, just more or less just an opening for another wrestling show on a sports network. But also, with it being on TNT, this marks the very first time in almost 20 years that TNT, Turner Network Television, will broadcast any type of sports entertainment attraction. Now,
I think it's going to be beneficial for them, though, because then they're going to get more viewers on that channel.
Well, of course. I mean, they already have a very stable amount of viewers, as they do now. We know with March Madness, NBA, SportsCenter, I believe, is on TNT a couple times. Yeah. I'm not sure with NFL, but I know NBA is very, very tied together with TNT. And Ted Turner, back in the day, he pretty much turned Jim Crockett Promotions into WCW. And with that, he put WCW Monday Nitro on Monday nights, the same time slot as Monday Night Raw, on TNT. And when they dispersed on, of course, 32601, that was the final episode of Nitro on TNT. There has not been one wrestling program on TNT since March 26, 2001. So coming this fall, we're going to be seeing a brand new weekly wrestling show on TNT. And TNT actually released a tweet saying this. I'll pull up the image in just a second, that they tweeted, and I quote, "Well, we're back in the wrestling business," which is a little spin-off to what, if anyone on the WWE Network has seen, the Monday Night War, where Ted Turner calls Vince and says, "Hey, Vince, well, I'm in the wrestling business." And Vince is like, well, we're in two different businesses then. And he's going like, well, what do you mean, Vince? Well, you're in the wrestling business, and I'm in the sports entertainment business. Because, you can't call it pro wrestling in WWE no more. It's a sports entertainment, which is poetically, in my opinion, one of the worst things they could have done to wrestling. But it draws attention and attraction as well. What is your thoughts on the term of sports entertainment?
If it's sports entertainment, you're using your sports to be able to entertain viewers, and like for instance WWE, it is a World Wrestling Entertainment. So therefore, it's more of a safe in entertainment, even though there can be slip-ups and mess-ups and people do get hurt sometimes. But it's mainly to, entertain people.
Well, yes, and I mean, accidents occur anywhere. It don't matter if it's WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, even the little indie promotions. Anything can happen. And like on this thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you've seen Monday Night Raw. Like this past Monday, Apollo Crews was going for a kind of like a, what you call it, a back handspring or something, and he landed on his leg. He was facing Mojo Rawley, and he kind of clipped his leg a little bit, and Mojo Rawley, like instinct, pretty much broke kayfabe and said, hey, hey, hey. And pretty much the referee caught on to that and asked Apollo Crews could he still go. And Apollo, as the man he was, and as the rule is, you always finish the match. He kept going with the match, and they had to call an audible, of course. Mojo hit some sort of move, and then 1, 2, 3 ended the match. There's not really been a report yet of what's happening with Apollo Crews or what is exactly going to take place with that. Another topic I want to talk about is the Double or Nothing pay-per-view price they announced this morning, because there has been no pay-per-view buy rate for Double or Nothing yet till this morning, because I've been trying for the last 2-3 weeks to get Double or Nothing, and if anybody's unaware of what Double or Nothing is, that is AEW's debut pay-per-view show. It's no Double or Nothing in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. This morning they announced it's going to be on BNR, Bleacher Report Live, which is owned by the Turner Broadcasting Corporation, which is a streaming service kind of like the WWE Network for sports and entertainment. And also, it's going to be broadcast on pay-per-view, which the current reports is on DirecTV. It is $49.99 in the U.S., which is $50, which in this day and age is outrageous for a wrestling pay-per-view, because you can easily go on the WWE Network and order it for $9.99, or even get your month for free. And then BNR Live, I don't know how much that is going to be, but Xfinity, I've seen this on the Cult of Kayfabe. Shout out to the Cult of Kayfabe on Facebook, by the way. I've seen on there that they have it on Xfinity, the Verizon pay-per-view service. They got that for $59.99, which is $60. Now, I can get me a brand new video game for that exact same price. But I understand, that's how it was for traditional pay-per-views with WWF, WCW. It was $59.99, and people forked that over almost every month. So I could see how it is now, but like in the digital age, they have streaming services where you can easily stream it cheaper, and hopefully BNR Live will get that better. Another thing I want to bring up is, I don't know if you remember senior official Earl Hebner in WWE, the old man in the wrestling?
Yeah.
Well, he has officially signed a full-time contract with All Elite Wrestling. Even though his current age, he is still, quote-unquote, All Elite. Yeah. Your thoughts on him refereeing damn near in his 70s? Or even in his 70s, I need to look that up just to make sure.
I mean, they said that he was the fastest, so it would be more.
He was one of the best in the business, and also, if you remember correctly, he was in the Montreal Screwjob. He rung the bell when Bret Hart did not tap out. Yeah. But he was just doing his job. He was Vince's boy. He had to do that. He was hired by Vince to do this. He said he didn't like it. He even quoted in TNA. He didn't really. I guess, and this is storyline wise, I don't know if he'll admit it to this day, but he said. When what happened in Montreal, he said it wasn't, him, it wasn't Vince's idea, it was him who screwed Bret. I can't confirm that it's actually what it is or it was a storyline, but,
What do you think would be beneficial about him being the referee now for AEW versus the referees they have for WWE now?
I don't traditionally know, what he brings to it. I know that the smart wrestling fans are going to be like, oh, well, he's here, that's great. I don't know it's necessarily what benefit he's going to be doing, because, WWE has basically all new referees that have been trained to do this, brought up from NXT. I don't know if you notice them now, 2 of them I've seen on NXT have made their way up to the main roster since the draft, and they actually do a swell job. They're fast, they're cooperative, but sometimes they're a little bit off, but any referee is, no one's the best. And, I think that I believe the WWE referees are doing a swell job on this. But Earl Hebner in AEW, yes, good, but I don't know if it'd be, breaking news worthy, All right, another thing, Super Showdown. That is the pay-per-view in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, June 7th. We are going to have I believe this is going to be the main event, a stellar match. Bill Goldberg is coming out of retirement to face the one and only Undertaker. Your thoughts on this match?
This is going to be it's going to be an intense fight. I mean, if you see Undertaker and the streak he had for WrestleMania, and then you look at Goldberg and you see all the stuff he's done.
And you also got to admit, he has had a streak of his own in WCW. He was, don't quote me on this, he was 153-0, I believe, or I might be wrong. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if I'm right or not. But Goldberg had a streak, but it was so ruinedly ended on WCW by Scott Hall hitting him with the taser and Kevin Nash hitting the jackknife 1, 2, 3. And we all know how Undertaker's streak ended. You know, Brock Lesnar F5. Do you believe the streak should have ended?
Honestly,
at that time, I mean,
at that time, no. I would have waited until someone better, kind of like Roman Reigns calls it his yard.
Well, see, he did lay down for Roman at WrestleMania 33 in the main event, but that's when he became 23-2, not 21-1.
Yeah.
I believe he should have beaten Brock, became 22-0, and then go on until Roman. Because it's no secret, Undertaker handpicked Roman to do this, and it was supposed to be Undertaker's retirement, but, they kept bringing him back, He was still there,
But, I mean, look how well known he is. Would you want to go back?
I mean, yes. I mean, and it's not just that. I mean, when it's hard to leave something that you love so much, and Undertaker is very open about him loving the wrestling business, loving being in the ring, but... the way his health was years ago, back at WrestleMania 30, he should have retired before that. But now he's actually in the best shape of his life. I don't know if you noticed, he's actually lost 30 pounds. He's actually in very good shape. And leading up to this match with Bill Goldberg, I don't know how Bill Goldberg has been training for this, but this may be something like Survivor Series 2016, the minute 26 against Lesnar. I hope not, because that would just be a slaughterhouse.
I'm pretty sure they're going to go roundabout for a good 15, 20 minutes.
Well, yeah. Hopefully. I mean, if not that, at least 10. 10 minutes would be pretty good, or 5. Because the match at WrestleMania against Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title, they had, 4 minutes and 34 seconds, 54 seconds, something like that. Almost 5 minutes. And they put a lot into it and made it seem like it was a good 10-minute match, even though it was short as it is. But Goldberg took more bumps in that match than he did his entire second run.
Mm-hmm. But they're definitely going to have a lot of strength to go through this match, without a doubt.
Oh, of course. Now, we are also going to talk about another little topic right here. Triple H being frustrated with Vince McMahon's creative ideas on the main roster. Now, I'm going to explain these main roster ideas a bit, what happened over the last 3 weeks. All right, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, they had the Superstar Shakeup. That's pretty much the draft. Mm-hmm. All right, a week later, the WWE Champion Roman Reigns and Shane McMahon, Elias, all these SmackDown superstars showing up on Raw. So as this is happening, Vince McMahon pulls out a wild card rule. This is pretty much saying 4 superstars from SmackDown can show up on Raw and 4 superstars from Raw can show up on SmackDown, which pretty much eliminates the point of having a draft and a brand split, But with the ratings are declining in WWE standards, what do you think? They should be doing this a wild card rule, or do you think that they should keep it going, see if the ratings will boost up? Because until the Fox deal kicks in with SmackDown going to Fox on a actual nationwide network, not a cable television network. Because when they go to Fox, they're going to be on Fox, the channel. Your thoughts?
I mean, no one's going to expect somebody from Raw to show up on SmackDown. Either way, so.
I mean, it's already happened. I mean, for the last week and a half, they've had a few people show up on Raw that's been on SmackDown, and a few people on SmackDown been on Raw, mainly Roman Reigns and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. But, I mean, they'll have some people that don't really know much about who's on SmackDown, who's on Raw, and then you come up with somebody who knows, and it's like, whoa, they're not supposed to be here, what's going on? And they're going to be more focused on what's going to happen. because that person's on Raw, but they're supposed to be on SmackDown. You get what I'm saying?
To an extent, yes, but like it still ain't no point of this. Like it takes away the feel of the draft. If you get what I'm saying, like you have a certain roster for SmackDown, you have a certain roster for Raw, and some NXT. NXT stays where they're at. They don't make they very 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 few appearances on the main roster unless they're being called up. I just don't understand the point of this wild card rule. And Vince McMahon saying he's a genius. Yes, he's a genius that's driving his company into the ground. I mean, you got to think that so far since Roman has been gone, now he's back, Raw has been having some of the worst ratings since WCW. Like, WCW has had better ratings than the Raws that we've been having.
Yeah, true.
And Vince McMahon is blaming things like YouTube and social media for the decline in ratings. Well, when you post your videos like that immediately after it's happening on Raw, they kind of want to watch it on YouTube. I mean, just think about this. Are you going to sit through 3 hours of Raw and potentially fall asleep, or are you going to wait the next morning and watch it all in bits and pieces on YouTube? Just be honest.
I'll watch it on bits and pieces on YouTube because if I get tired, I can just add the rest of it to a small little playlist and then delete it shortly after.
Yes, and also you got to think of streaming services like Hulu that post them the next day. Yeah. You have it doesn't show a 3-hour Raw, it actually shows an hour-and-a-half version, so it's kind of edited down to get you all the bits and pieces.
They're taking out all the commercials that are like 90% of the
Oh,
time,
Lord.
So.
But you got to think they pay for advertisers that way.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts, questions on anything else before we sign off?
One thing. Instead of, if AEW didn't make the contract to be on TNT, what other network do you think that would they go with the contract for? Because I think they would go for more of a bigger sports channel that has really, really good viewers that have more than TNT has.
And what network do you believe that would be?
Let's see. Let's see what networks they have, first of all. First of all, they do have TNT, which they're already signing a contract for.
And which is more of a drama network, but it does have sports because of the basketball. March Madness does bring a lot on that part. They was also in talk, I believe they're going to have another show on TBS, which is the Turner Broadcasting Service, which also held Thursday Thunder back in the day, which was a train wreck of a show. No one in WCW wanted to work on Thunder. People on Thunder be like, oh, hey, I'm working on Nitro. Yay, I got to work on Thunder. Oh, I injured my elbow. I can't make it. It's about how they was at.
What network didn't Tough Enough also broadcast along with WWE?
Yes, but see, the WWF Tough Enough aired on MTV. The WWE Tough Enough initially went to the USA Network, which is currently broadcasting Raw and SmackDown, which is going to continue to broadcast Raw until 2021. But the SmackDown contract ends in October. They're moving to Fox,
Yeah.
And with that, they're going to turn SmackDown into a more sports atmosphere because, it's going to be a Fox Sports program.
You know what I'm thinking of what AEW is going to do whenever WWE moves to Fox?
What do you think?
I'm thinking they're going to take the previous network WWE was on and sign a contract with them after their contract with TNT is over.
Well, they currently can't because, USA Network is a partner company with the NBC Universal, and WWE and NBC are pretty much tied buddies. So that is virtually impossible right now because they're currently still signed a contract with Raw and NBC Sports Network, because I don't know if you noticed back in 2006, they would have occasional appearances with Saturday Night's Main Event, and before, back in the 80s and early 90s, NBC was the home of Saturday Night's Main Event until they moved to Fox for a brief period, then it stopped until 2006. But with it going on TNT, they also said that wins and losses will matter. Like, how WWE is just jumble wins and losses, they don't really matter. This is going to be focused. They're going to have analysts. They're going to have pretty much what we're doing right now, sitting down talking about it, analyzing what is going to happen. Because you got to think, they got tremendous athletes in AEW. You got the Cleaner Kenny Omega, the American Nightmare Cody, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, the sorry bastard Neville, Smiley Britt Baker.
They also
Dr. Britt Baker, I'm sorry. And Smiley Kylie Ray, Dustin Rhodes, the Nyla Rose, the very first transgender wrestler, Sonny Kiss, which is a flamboyant male wrestler who pretty much has a Velveteen Dream thing, but more or less is his sexual orientation. I have nothing against the gays. I believe his character is tremendous, and he plays it very, very well. Whether that's him or not him, that's the best character for him. But like the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, I don't know if you're aware of them, but they are some of the best Mexican wrestlers that AAA has had to offer. And at Double or Nothing, the Young Bucks are going to face the Lucha Brothers. I don't know if it's a certain stipulation match, but I know that this match at Double or Nothing is going to be just tremendous. Now, I also got a question. They got a match at Double or Nothing that I am just excited for. Chris Jericho going one-on-one with Kenny Omega. What do you think? Now, this is a rematch from their match at Wrestle Kingdom a year and a half ago. Who do you think is going to come out on the winning end of this one? Last one, Kenny Omega did. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think, like, I know it's going to be a really good match because it is going to be a rematch, so they're going to try their best to do it.
And second of all, it's Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the 6-star genius who had the 6-star matches, 2 6-star matches, by the way, with Kushida Okada. Now,
I'm thinking, I'm going to go for Chris Jericho this time.
Chris Jericho? I mean, he's reinvented himself on so many occasions. The many faces of Jericho, as we call him. You know, they've had the Ayatollah of Rock and Roll, Mr. Y2J, Mr. Savior, Mr. List of Jericho, Light Up Jacket, and his whole new persona that he carries, the Joker thing where he dresses up. He got the leather, got the hat, the spikes. I just love everything about what Chris Jericho's doing right now. But can he defeat Kenny Omega?
We will find out.
We will find out at Double or Nothing. Yes, we will. All right, well, that's all the time we're going to have for our first episode. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at this_is_MTG. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, MTG Network, and like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to let you know next time we post a video. And this is also going in the Facebook Cult of Kayfabe. Just shout out to the Cult of Kayfabe because this will be on there. And anything you have to say before we sign off?
No.
All right. Well, all right. So for all of us here at the MTG Network, we will see you again. Any options or anything you would like us to talk about, please leave in the comment section below. All right. Thank you all.